Slash, how you do, buckaroos? How the heck are you? I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer for the purposes of this video anyway. How the heck are you? So I had an idea. Man. So this is Cherry Cordial Part 3, but I wanted to finish up this product from Rocktown, their Column Still Collection, single barrel cask strength bourbon whiskey. I bought this bottle back on January 2nd of this year, so I've had it for a while. So I figured, well, let's finish her off. 59.17%. So I wanted to do my cherry cordial cocktail. In this case, I'm using 2 ounces of that whiskey, 1 ounce of my cherry bourbon vanilla simple syrup, and a few dashes of cocoa bitters. Dark cherry garnish sitting at the bottom of the glass, and sláinte. Oh gosh, that's gorgeous. Wow, that's really gorgeous. That's a cask whiskey, and man, that is gorgeous. That is freaking perfect. That's how good that whiskey is. I left myself about an ounce neat here to have with you, though, just to remind me of what the whiskey started as, what the whiskey tastes like. Without the simple syrup, without the cocoa bitters, I just want to remind myself where we're starting. I remember I really have enjoyed this particular product. I actually got it in Tulsa, Oklahoma, of all places. Rocktown products are not available to me here in Springfield, Missouri, but I happened to find this in Tulsa this year, January 2nd. Seems like last year, but nevertheless. It was January 2nd at a liquor store there. My wife and I decided to do something crazy. We don't typically get away for New Year's Eve because every mother, every crazy ass son bitch is out there. So we decided to do something different to go away on January 1st and 2nd of last year. So I found a good price on a hotel room at the Hard Rock in Tulsa. Because as it turns out, everyone wanted to be there on the 31st, but the 1st and 2nd was pretty good room rates, man. So I bought a lot of products there, and I think I'm about out of everything. I think this is kind of the last of the last. I've been hanging on to this one because I really love Rocktown. I haven't had a chance to get back to Little Rock in quite some time. I really need to. It just hasn't been in the cards. But I want to remind that's why I saved it. I put 2 ounces in the cocktail, 1 ounce neat, to remind myself what the whiskey tasted like before I put it in that cocktail. Gosh, it just kills me. It is insanely approachable at that proof, man. It's insane at that cask at what? What did I say? 59.17. So we got 118.34 going on at a 118. Yeah, I mean, this stuff drinks neat like nobody's business. It is absolutely brilliant. So I put it in this cocktail again with 2 ounces of the whiskey, 1 ounce of the simple, and it's just insane. I use a cherry vanilla simple because I want to mimic that, that vanilla cream that you get from a cherry cordial. The chocolate, all I'm doing is cocoa bitters because I didn't want to over chocolate. I've been kind of, tampering with different ideas, but this, I feel like I like this one the best with just using those cocoa bitters to give you that idea of the chocolate with the cherry, the vanilla, and the product. I think the reason why this particular version is really hitting home with me is because that it doesn't feel overly sweet, because this whiskey kind of balances that simple, so we don't have too much going on. This stuff drinking neat is just crazy good. I'm trying to get to the perfect cherry cordial cocktail as we approach the holidays. My dad, of course, dads back in the day always got the same gifts for Christmas, right? Dad always got socks, underwear, and a box of cherry cordials. It was the 60s and 70s, and that's just how things were done. Oh, we got some other stuff, but that was what our kids always bought Dad was. Okay, let me take that back. That's what Mom always bought Dad from us kids, was the socks, the underwear, and the cherry cordials, which Dad liked. And the cherry mash candies. He liked cherry candies. The cherry mash he always liked too. I feel like I need to mention that my dad was older than most of my friends' dads at the time. Born in 1922, so dad was the age of most of my friends' grandfathers, to be honest, or a lot of my friends' grandfathers, at least a very good percentage. So yeah, I mean, he didn't ask for much, he didn't want much. So as kids gave him the stuff he liked or said he liked. I don't know that he really liked the stuff, to be honest with you. He was always happy to get whatever us kids gave him, and to be honest with you, it was from our mom. Our mom always paid for it, so and in turn he paid for it because it was always kind of a joint account. So. But nevertheless, he always seemed very grateful. As we got older, once we figured out the dynamics of the situation, as kids would step up and buy Dad more personal items. But it never changed the fact that Dad liked it. He did like those cherry cordials. So that's my quest of this year. Not necessarily trying to channel my father, but I am trying to come up with the perfect cherry cordial. And anybody that knows me knows I'm not a big cherry fan. I've never been a fan of the cherry cordial. And I'm not sure why it's become so important to me this particular year, because Dad's been gone quite some time. But for whatever reason, it has become very important to me at this moment. I get very obsessive about certain things at certain times, and there's not usually a rhyme or reason to it. But right now, it's become an obsession to me to put together the perfect cherry cordial cocktail, even though I know my dad would never drink it, because as much as he liked his cherry cordials, Dad was a straight whiskey drinker. Well, that's not true. He liked his whiskey with a little water, ice and water. So if I had a glass here, so let's just pretend this is a cylindrical glass. He would fill it up with ice, and then he would pour the bourbon into it up to about there, and then he'd fill the rest of it up with water. When I say Dad liked bourbon and water, I meant, he'd put ice in there, he'd pour the bottle in there, and then he'd just hit that tap. Because I have a quick, one of those numbers. So even though I am obsessing over this particular drink, trying to get a very particular flavor, it's not something my dad would have ever drank now. I mean, he didn't drink a Manhattan. He didn't drink an old-fashioned. He wasn't going to do that. If he's drinking whiskey, he's drinking whiskey. God, that stuff was so good. I had it last me a while, though. I was debating. In fact, here's the thing. When I was deciding on what whiskey to try to make this cocktail out of, as I was looking at the stuff that I just picked up, but I forgot about some stuff I had off to the side over here. Oh, crap. I said I had just a little bit of that left. I wasn't exactly sure how much it'd be, but I got 2 ounces in here, 1 ounce is there, 1 ounce is there, 2 ounces in here, 1 ounce there. But again, it amazes me how well it blends, right? It is a cask bourbon. I still should feel some of that bourbon in here, but it really adapts to that cherry vanilla simple, making this just an amazing cocktail. I'm going to send a recipe to my folks at Rocktown. My friends at Rocktown, hey, if you want to use it, you don't owe me anything. I'm not asking for any credit. you want to give me a bottle, hey, I'm not going to say no. But I'm not asking for anything. I'm just telling you these flavors work. You do what you want to do. You do you, folks at Rocktown. I'm just telling you it works. It really, no. Not only does it work, I mean, this is my third version of this cherry cordial, and I'm just in awe of how this cask bourbon just blends so well. It works so well, and you feel none of that burn. However, I'll be honest with you, I felt no burn drinking it neat. So I'm kind of bourbon impervious, I guess. That's not true. I do catch buzz, but I mean, I don't feel those burns that other people do. It doesn't hit me quite the same way. Anyways, and in these nice little glasses that my wife found while we were on vacation. Isn't that incredible? Look at those glasses. A friend told me they're just called hollow stem coupe, but I've never seen them before. I don't think they're worth a lot out there, but I just thought they were a very interesting glass. And I won't tell you what my wife paid for them because you just go, oh, damn. Because she has a knack. She's got a knack, man. Anyway, I do like them, though. I do like the style, the coupe. Because a coupe you can use for anything. But I've never seen the hollow stem before. I'm not a champagne guy, but that's what they're designed for. However, they also are typically used for a Manhattan. They're great for a lot of specialty cocktails. But you can use them for a martini as well. Because I'm not a big fan of the wide brim martini thing. Yeah, you're just going to spill shit. They're just designed for you to spill that martini all over yourself. But no, they do work great for a martini. They work great for anything. The style of glass is just perfect for an elegant cocktail. Anytime you want to make an elegant cocktail, a coupe is the way to go. But I've never seen the hollow stem before. So I asked my friend, who's an expert in glassware, I said, what is this? He says, well, I think it's a hollow stem coupe. And he was almost stumped to start with, too. This is a guy, I mean, this guy's an expert, man. I'm not sure, Tom. Anyway, I digress. Boy, I like this version. It does make me sad. I'm a little, you know, I'm getting a little weepy now that my Rocktown is now gone. But like I said, I've had this since January 2nd, so it probably need to go away. But I really have enjoyed this whiskey. I like everything that Rocktown does. I do miss that they don't do a lot of the stuff they did in their early days. One of my absolute favorite whiskeys was their hickory smoke whiskey. That thing was insane. I don't know why they don't do that anymore, but I mean, because I always describe the hickory smoke whiskey is if Americans invented Scotch, that's what it would taste like. I mean, it was like barbecue. Anyway, I digress. I love the folks at Rocktown. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer. I'll be the Cocktail Whisperer. That sounds a little dirty, though, doesn't it? Yeah, Tom the Whiskey Whisperer. Whiskey evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, pervert wisdom, and all around good guy, Slancha. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Boy, man, this one really surprised me though. I gotta say, because I was wondering because when I've made the other pairings, it was for very specific reasons. This one, it was just because this is what I had left. So I'm amazed at how well that whiskey adapted to that simple syrup. And it just made an incredible cocktail. So there you go. Skip to the end. All right, good guys. Lunch. Thanks, guys.